Greetings and welcome to the Sports Card Ripping Teacher. I've been watching a few videos this morning, and a couple of them were three good nerds, and they were doing some VRs, and both of them caught my attention. One was Stuke's Baseball Cards and Curiosities. His was for an athlete interaction, and a couple came to mind. Another one was Cracker Jack Cards, and he was asking about your card setup, which also caught my interest as well. Unfortunately, it seemed like I'd missed the deadline for that, and I thought I would do it anyways because it did sound like fun. It also reminded me of something I use every once in a while in teaching. My roommate in college, him and I would watch MASH early in the morning, and in one of the episodes, Sherman Potter failed his driving test, and Rizzo, who was kind of jack of all trades, the driving instructor, failed him, and Sherman Potter said, "Well, can I do a makeup test?" And Rizzo said, "Wonderful idea, sir. If you make up your own test, you're surely going to pass." But I did see the Cracker Jack Cards did have an extension to the deadline, so I'm all good, I guess. So let's go through first my card setup here. So normally I am in my classroom during the school year, but I did bring home a lot of my items here. Graham, he made this for me a few years ago to have in my classroom. A lot of times students will give me Legos of like things they make. I always have them on my desk during the school year, but that's something that he made. This next one, for quite a few years, I taught with the actual Rudy, his brother. And I've told a few stories before, but Rudy's brother, John Rudiger, he gave this to me. It was on his office, very generous. And one of the things I like to kid him about was, "John, this is number 746 out of 1,000. So that means 745 more important people got one of these before you did. Give me a break." No, that was awesome though. This next one here is a new addition. Jax gave this to me for Father's Day. I love Lou Piniella kicking the dirt. You know, he was definitely at the end of his coaching career, literally, figuratively, when he came to Chicago, but always entertaining. This next one, I kind of like to do like a little Where's Waldo? One of my students this year gave this to me. That's actually the one that I met at the Cubs game a couple days ago. So it's still, it made it to the summertime setup here. This next one, that college roommate that I mentioned watching MASH with, he gave this to me, and it was actually his dad's. And he was a Cubs fan. He went to school on the north side, and he was actually one of the people after the Cubs won the World Series. I just bought a bunch of stuff, and I did send him out a t-shirt, but I love this paperweight here. My Brett Favre DirecTV bobblehead. This was kind of the original thing. Every video, I just kind of give a little bob to it, and then it gets going. This next one, I may or may not have told about it before, but my fourth graders used to have, or I did teach fourth grade, a economics unit. And then we would read Lemonade Wars, Lawn Boy. And at the end of the unit, the students would get into teams, and they would make a prototype of an item to sell. And they would get credits for using like recyclable goods. So the water bottle that's on the inside there. Obviously, they didn't eat all these popsicles. At least I hope they didn't eat all of them. But they had to buy those new. But they would have like a money market. And then parents would all come in. And parents would get like an envelope of fake money. Go around and buy stuff. And we kind of tabulate what each company made. It was a really good time. Great time. In second grade, we do not do that, but something fun for the fourth graders to look forward to. Since I am in the basement here, this is kind of our jack of all trade rooms, a card room here of late, but these are from the World Series, the newspapers that I had purchased and then got framed. And I'll bring you back over here. We got some card supplies, but also one of the printing plates. The Cubs got their GOAT. We've got the Nico Horner stuff over there, some Cub hats, a few more things. I'm not quite done with this room yet, but I eventually will be, maybe kind of give you a little bit of a tour. So that is my card setup and my athlete interaction, which I want to be part of my setup, is, as you know, I do work for the Cubs in the summertime, in the school year and everything. And here's me after one of the, I think this is the win after game 5 of the World Series. So I would take a picture after each one of the victories, the playoff victories for that year. And I have all the pictures here. You can see I have the scoreboard. But I do want to make this into a frame that kind of displays my experience at the World Series. And I did see Justin with his family at opening day every year. I thought that was awesome and reminded me of I need to finish this project. And part of the deal is whenever I get close to finishing my to-do list, my wife adds like 4 or 5 more things. I had to say that quietly. But anyways, here's my athlete interaction. On the way to game 3 of the World Series, that was the first one played in Chicago, I parked my vehicle. I was walking down Addison, and one of my pet peeves is when people walk like all across the sidewalk so you can't pass. And there were like 4 across, probably like 2 or 3 deep. Like, give a little bit of a window for people to walk by. So I'm eating my burrito, and it's close to dinner time and everything. Okay, I'm just gonna go around, and I'm like, who are these suits? Like, every single person is wearing a suit. Like, who are these guys? Entourage or something? And as I get closer, it's Theo Epstein. Theo and all his guys, Jed Hoyer, all the other ones there, are walking down to the game. And here I am with my burrito in my hand. I'm like, Theo, how you guys doing? He's kind of like startled a little bit. And we just talked a few minutes. I'm a school teacher. I'm a beer vendor as well. Like, super excited. I was like, yeah, so are we. We expected to be here and everything. And I was like, well, can I get a picture with you? And he kind of looked at my burrito, and then he like looked at me. He's like, yeah, sure. It's probably an expensive suit he has right there. But he took the picture. And then I kind of went to, I wiped my hand on my pants and went to shake his hand. He gave me the knuckle, the old fist bump. So, he didn't want to get too dirty there. But also, what else we got here? Here's after the World Series, Cubs winning. Of course, that was not at Wrigley Field. World Series champs. Got the cops there. My dad is a Chicago police officer. And back in 1984, he was on the detail to protect Wrigley Field when the Cubs went on the road to play the Padres in the playoffs, figuring the Cubs were going to win it. And then, people were going to be around Wrigley Field. Unfortunately, things did not happen. There's Graham, I went to Dick's kind of right away. The line was huge. I said, okay, we're going to close the line here. We will open up at 5 o'clock the next morning. I went home, maybe slept for a couple hours, got in line right away. I was just grabbing stuff. For probably the first time in my life, I really didn't think about what I was buying. I was just buying. There's Jackson I. That's at the Cubs convention the following year. I think you want to do like the number 1 symbol, but it kind of looks different with his hand that way. Oh, well. But here's one of my beer tickets. I want to have this on the display as well. I did sell 312 Goose that day, but 10 loads. Crazy. No, that's the amount of product that I sold. There's the old commission. These were back in the cash days, so all my tips were in cash, and that was kind of nice. But now they're on their credit card, so Uncle Sam and I are sharing those tips now. But what are you going to do? So that is my famous person interaction, Theo Epstein. This is my card setup, and eventually I want to put all of these and the other pictures I have into a display to showcase as well. So again, this is for Cracker Jack Cards. If you do not follow him, go ahead and follow him already. I'm a new sub just today, so thank you to Justin again. And also Stukes Baseball Cards and Curiosities. I'm a new sub to that channel as well. So my main man, Justin and 3 Good Nerds, good job of putting everyone together. As for now, class is... Ooh, scratchy voice. Been working a few days in a row. Class is dismissed.